Hello, well, hello, and welcome back. It's a new year, and we're back with FPR1 taking on 100% realistic performance race around the beautiful track of Austria, where drivers have had their very long break in between, and now they must crack on, get their heads down, and get ready to race. Like I say, we are taking on the track of Austria, 10 corners, even though technically it should be 9, because let's face it, turn 2 is not a real corner, it's a bloody straight. Hence you can see there on the map, 3 DRS zones, where the DRS train will be huge in the race. And, well, losing that will pretty much determine your position for the race in reality, because it is very powerful with the 3 zones. So expect a lot of close action all the way throughout the race. But what we're interested in the first part is qualifying. Short qualifying session will follow up very shortly, but here's a quick look at the up-to-date standings from last time out in Hungary last year. Haha, funny joke, I'm going to stop making that now. Robbo managed to just hold on to his lead in the championship, only by 6 points over Hillian, even just 8 points ahead of Spread, so very close between the top 3, and then you've got a bit of a gap down to Dystopian, THC and Phantom Dragon all in the 50, 51, 54, 57 points just behind them respectively. We have only got 6 races left including this race, so we are getting fairly close to the end of this season. But like I say, all to play for, everyone scores points so long as you finish the race, and it is drivers only, no constructors, so technically no teammates. I might refer to them as teammates on track just because it makes it easier, but in reality there's no teammates. Anyway, we're going to head straight onto the action. We've got people already out setting laps as we speak, because I am #prepared. And like I say, short qualify session, so if there's a few people on mediums, they're probably getting a bit of extra practice in, just to get themselves inclined to the track before whacking on softs and getting right out there. So there's just a quick confirmation there that you might see some people on different tyres, but it doesn't matter because everyone will be on softs at the end of the day. And here is Kamarov. A little bit further down in the championship order, obviously not being there all of the time, but you know, when he is here, he puts in the performance. So again, you can't really class him out the amount of points you get if you win. You know, you can't class him out the point where you can get a lot of points. I think it's 30 or 35 if I try and remember off by heart. There's a lot of point systems you have to remember whilst doing this stuff. But anyway, he goes quicker, so we'll on to 4.8. And next up will be Robbo in the Alpine today. He's in the 149. All car allocations are done on the day during the afternoon. And they are always, as you guys know, always well balanced. I think I used always about 3 times in the same sentence, but you know, you gotta always make sure your point is across. Oh, stop doing that now, it's getting cringe. Super Striker in the McLaren goes with third fastest at 151. We've got Franz Piper at a 189. So to say, I don't think that was a representative lap time. We know they can definitely go a bit quicker than that. Austria is obviously typically known for being obviously one of the shortest circuits on the calendar. 71 laps of a race will prove that. And how close these times get will also prove that, as it's make or break really around here. If you have a little bit of an error, you could find yourself in the likes of P13, and if you absolutely nail it, you could still find yourself in the likes of like P6 or P7. That's how close it can get around this track. And also don't count out invalidations, especially on the exit turn 10. If you exit turn 9, entrance turn 10. If you go a little bit wide, even exit turn 10, if you just stray a little bit off the track, that's an invalidation. It's a bit inconsistent through turn 1. And in reality, you don't really need to worry about any of the other corners. The Dystopian goes fastest then in the Aston Martin 146 Plum FRC Plum, probably one of the quickest drivers I've ever seen, a 146 in the AlphaTauri. Pro esports person, that. So, expect big things from him. He's races in FGR on a Thursday, and holy shit, the pace is unreal from that guy. But like I say, when you put the perspective into a realistic format, you'll see that cope with well, the car that you put in. Let's say the AlphaTauri isn't exactly a fun car to drive. It is lacking in the downforce region, lacking in the well, it's got a little bit of speed with the Red Bull engine, but a fair bit of drag, which kind of slows it back down. It's not one of the best cars to drive. You hear, but if cameras on the podium, you'll definitely hear about that. 100% real. Anyway, here's our resident favourite driver here in the commentary box. It's Jesus. We love him. The Messiah himself, which we're going to return to making them jokes again because we're going to get away with it, not. He's making his way towards what is officially known as Turn 3, which should be Turn 2, but let's not go there. I'll rant about that for ages for you after. Jesus in the house. Jesus does have pace. He does. It's a little bit hit and miss at some tracks, but overall, he can challenge, especially for wins. He has got a race win to his name. Let's see if he can add any more. Flying through. Oh, a huge bit of a tank stopper through there. What some people refer to as Bollock 2. There's still like a pair of balls on the track map. It's also known as the Lauda curves, probably. Properly, sorry. Probably. But he goes 10th fastest. Tank stopper definitely hasn't done him any good. So he'll be looking to go again. Here comes Hilly across the line. Hilly goes 4th fastest, just ahead of his teammate by a 10th. Franz Piper's put in a much better lap and sits 9th at 155. Out qualifying quite a few people there at the moment. Go on. Expect big things. New year, new you. We'll see you right up there. At the moment, P9. I mean, I know there's only 12 people setting a lap. That's still a fair few drivers out qualified there. So, we like to see that. We love seeing improvement. We love it. Absolutely top 10 things you'd love to say. Is there anyone else on the lap? I think Super Striker might be on the lap. Oh, well, yep, that confirms it. Goes quickest. Takes back to the top spot off from Dystopian and brings us into the 145 territory. Fair few people in the pits, fair few people coming back out on track. One of those is Schmitty in the Red Bull, but is currently not on a flyer, no ERS deployment there, so not pushing. Jesus has come back into the pits, got a few people on outlaps, Shrek being one of them, Spread as well, Phantom Dragon, all these are yet to set a lap. Akadre is also another one yet to set a lap in the Mercedes, still in the pits with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. So, still got plenty of time. You can still get 2 or 3 runs, depending on how you do it. Maybe, if you're stretching it, maybe a 4th run. It is a short track, and a fairly shortish pit lane, really. Anyway, enough about pit lanes and track mileage. We've got a lot to stay on board with, as he's now into the 3rd DRS zone and on the run down to turn 4, keeping it hooked in, a little bit wayward from the apex, but you don't really lose a lot of time. You can take a wider line through there. I do tend to notice some people do that, but tucking it as close as you can to the inside curb without touching it, as the curbs can send you a bit hayward on the traction. And now continue past through to sector 3 into the final couple of cars, turn 9 and 10. You got to absolutely nail these. You can't turn into it late or too early, especially for turn 10. But he's kept it tidy well within the track limits. This looks pretty good. He's going to shoot himself into P8 151, but it's immediately beaten by Corey. He goes 8th fastest. Phantom Dragon also shot up there as well. 6th fastest for him with a 148. So, well, let's we switch to spread though. See if we can look at the gap to the leader, and just to confirm my thing of how close it really is. This track, the top 12 separated by less than a second. Couple of outliers. Schmidt improves, goes 13th ahead of Jesus. Jesus is in the pits and made a mistake on his lap. I imagine he should improve as well. But here comes Spread. Akadre is also now starting his first flying lap of the session. Switch on board as he makes a push towards the start finish line, and he goes for fastest. Top 5 separated by 2/10. Very things you'll have to see, really. Things you'll have to see. So out comes Super Striker and FSC Plum. Hilly as well coming out on track as well. So a few of the quicker guys. That's not what we want to see. Fastest than that. There we go. Let's quickly switch with the Mercedes. He's just entered sector 3 through the last of the ladder curves, and then on the run now to turn 9. As the Red Bull getting well out of the way, whilst the other one's going to dive into the pits. Easy, comfortable track limits there, and looking to get a time on the board first time around here, and it's a pretty good time as well. 1:48 for Akadre, puts him 7th, ahead of his other Mercedes. I need to try and get used to not saying teammates, because it doesn't really make sense considering there's no actual team battle, but it in a way helps because you know more about the other car. But we'll try flick something new. Anyway, here comes Plum to finish a lap, back end on the exit to 10. Problem there, that's gonna cost him time, and I believe it has, because it's only a nearly a 200th improvement. Improvement nevertheless, but stays 3rd fastest. So I reckon he'll be looking to go again there. 5 minutes 50 left on the clock, plenty of time. Here's Hilly with a purple set to 1 and a 2/10 improvement. That is going to bring him right up the order. In fact, you know what? I think the leader gaps will probably look better, not gonna lie. I think they do look better. So he's looking on track to potentially take pole, provisional pole even. As again another purple sector. He's looking pretty quick. 2 more corners to navigate, and just got too much curb and it sends him wide. He's not going to validate, but he's going to lose a chunk of time by doing that. And yeah, look at that, he lost a hell of a lot of time doing that. He improved, but big loss, and that could have been a potential challenge for P1. It's a rather unfortunate error. This Super Striker already gone across the line in validation. And staying at the top of the timing screens, coming back out on track is Schmidty and the Red Bull. That will fly with the Super Striker now, just to show the man currently sat on provisional pole position. He's got 4 minutes and 35 seconds to hold on to that position, then he's got another chance when he gets back into the pits to set 1 or 2 more flyers in reality. Although, to be fair, he might struggle getting the second run in consecutively, depending on fuel and how good you're able to charge your battery, whilst also keeping within the time limit. It does go quick. You do sometimes lose track of how much time is left in the session. So here's Schmieder, the only other driver out on track, as the other Red Bull also looks like it's coming out of the pits, and if their time is right, he might be able to pick up a cheeky toe if Schmidt wiggles on now. He's starting the lap, although, interesting, he's going to do 2 build-up laps. In fairness, I have done that before around this track, and I do sometimes think I think it does help. You can definitely do it. You get your tyres really engrooved, so no, you know what? Fair shout, fair cop. That was the Williams of Shrek and the Haas of Jesus coming out. Jesus sat in 16th at the moment. he'd be wanting to get much further up the grid, I'd imagine. But like I say, he did make a mistake on the exit of turn 7. And Corey, interestingly, he's retired in the pit, so at the moment he stays 10th. Whether he will be there at the end of the session, that'd be a big ask. A very big ask. That's very unusual. 2 minutes 48. I wonder if he's used all of his tyre sets already. It's an interesting conundrum. A very interesting conundrum, to say the least. It's a bit of a sticky wicket, isn't it? Right, we've got Franz Piper first of the 2 Red Bulls, the other one just behind, so we'll keep an eye on the timing screens and all that jazz. As Franz Piper navigates turn 3 and makes his run down towards turn 4 now. Held on the brakes into 3rd gear, quickly up to 4th for the extra traction. Not running too wide and not looking too bad at all through there, if you ask me. And now we've got 5 and 6, looking like he's backed off. Yep, he has, but was a rather weird place to leave the car. He might just get picked up on that one, not gonna lie. May have gotten a little bit in the way in the racing line for Schmidt here. We'll find out as he crosses the line. Is he going to improve? He does improve, staying 15th though. Right. Also on the slight improvement is Jesus. It's at 1.5 tenths up. He's going to need a bit more time. Everyone is now piling out on track. The track is extremely busy. We've got Alfa Romeo going very slow there. Exit 3. As Jesus crosses the line, he's got into just almost within a second of P1 there. But yeah, it's not enough. It looks like he's rather not enjoying that time. Here we go, here's a lap that we really want to see now. Here he is, the man who currently sat at the top step. We've got Plum and as well, he's going out. Cameron is also going for it here. This is going to get very tasty and zesty at the end of this session. They're probably not even going to be able to keep up with everything. DRS then activates at the final time on this, well, not really the final time, you've got to start finish straight. I always go in order from the one on the start finish straight for the DRS zone, so if you hear me say that's the 3rd, then you might think, well actually that's the 2nd. That's how I'm referring it to. It's a little bit easy for me and my shitty brain. But here we go, he is up on his time, only just so, really stretching as much as he can. Let's see how he attacks these final 2 corners. It's with pure sheer aggression, keeping it well within the track limits though. Phantom Dragon goes fastest momentarily and he stays fastest as he improved by a tenth but couldn't quite top it. Kamarov also just missing out there, couldn't quite stop it. Plum goes even quicker, 143. Can Dystopia do anything now? He's come across the line. He's been looking pretty quick so far. He improved but not quite enough. What's spread on? He's on a 10th and staying 6th fastest. Hilly as well, he's next across the line. What can he do? There's also Robbo as well, staying 9th place. Hilly is going to jump up to 5th place. Akadre in the Mercedes coming around the final 2 corners now as he almost strays wide there, using as much track limits as he can. He improves, staying 8th fastest. A couple of cars, Franz Piper coming across the line in the background there, staying 14th fastest. And we have just got just got Silent Oxen, but I believe he's coming into the pits as we can now see. So out of the blue, Phantom Dragon with a huge challenger there, almost got pole position but is just been beaten by Plum, who takes pole ahead of the race. Fantastic lap, shame I didn't quite see that one. But yeah, every single one of those in the top, from the top 7, they must have been absolutely nip and tuck with trying to squeeze as much lap time there. You could tell Super Strike were pretty much fighting for hundredths at the end there, but in the end, sorry, I'm only just a tenth away from pole. Like I say, sort of top, I think it was top 11, top 10, separated by a second. You just got the other few in the background there that are just outside the 1 second marker. Jesus, not had a great day in the office, starting last in today's race. That's not what he would have wanted. Not what he would have wanted at all. But here we go then. So Plum takes pole position ahead of Phantom Dragon by just less than a tenth. And Super Striker there in third place. Commiserations to all these guys, because every single one of them could have had a shot with pole. I mean, yeah, your top 10 is actually nearly top 10 separate by 6/10. That's outrageous. Do not turn away from this one. This is going to be an absolute balls to walls, nose to tail DRS train all the way through, and with moves probably constantly every single lap. It could get very chaotic. Oh, by the way, no one press A. Let's not have that moment. Let's not have that issue again. Ooh, that's looking rather overcast there. Rather overcasty indeed. So for the drivers, we will be setting off at the lovely time of 1/2 the hour. And in doing so, we're going to run a quick little break here. And we will go through the starting order shortly. And if it just is one of them side pop-ups, let's just have a little chat and gaze at the lovely, very energetic crowd members there. Let's be honest, they're looking they look very depressed. I mean, I know I can't really point out to the screen, but the guy with like the looks like a grey sort of waist. Is that even a waistcoat? It looks like a grey suit jacket. You know, from here on my angle, he looks like he's wearing like a grey sort of suit jacket and some sort of white t-shirt, and then looks like grey jeans. I mean, that is a outfit combo and a half. That is some miracle of a thing there. As yeah, just confirmation then. If we saw the moment with the two Red Bulls there, Franz and Schmitty, we thought Franz may have gotten in the way of Schmitty there. Definitely confirmed that he has. There's definitely been a bit of reaction in the Discord chat on that one. So we should probably suspect that one might just get investigated by the stewards, which not normally means it's probably going to end up in a slam dunk qualifying ban penalty, which is not what you really want, especially in the 100%. They do tend to be a bit more disadvantageous at this back, so you allowing all those at the front just to really shoot off. Really, they can get the gap on you, and it's like you got to work that bit extra going through the rest of the pack. And it hurts a lot. It hurts a lot more in the 100% because your tyres are obviously going to last that little bit longer than it would in like a standard league racing format, which is usually 50% race. Yeah, they hurt a bit more. The tyres will last a bit longer than normal. Obviously, you've got a lot longer distance to cover. Towards the end of the race, you do see it. Some people, you're going to get a bit tired. You get a bit drowsy. Mentally and almost physically, you just start shutting off, losing focus, and that. Mistakes creep in. So towards the end of the race is probably where you'll start finding more people pick up penalties. Because having to do 71 laps and keeping it all the track limits, especially turn 10. That's when you start, people start turning a bit too early. They'll go a little bit wide, and that'll get you the warning. You do that 2 times, you get the penalties, and it'll start racking up. If there's a last minute safety car, you're diving into pits, you might just forget about braking at the right point, get the 5 seconds for speeding. That could be disastrous, especially if there's a last minute safety car. That could be huge. Anyway, quick run through then the starting order for this race. We have Plum starting on the front row alongside Phantom Dragon, and then just on the second row we got Super Striker and Sergeant Kamarov. And looking on at the rest of the grid, we have Hilly in 5th, Dystopian in 6th, Master Spread in 7th, Akadre 8th, Robbo Snipe starting in 9th, Silent Oxen in for the Williams in 10th, Shrek 11th, Corey in 12th, Sniper Monkey 13th, Franz Piper 14th, Schmidty 15th, and rounding out the back of the grid is Jesus in 16th. It's a sort of a rather hefty Haas sandwich there, isn't it? And looking at terms of strategies, we've got a whole mix here. Could potentially see 2 to 3 stops, I reckon, through this race. I don't think anyone would gamble the full stop, but 2 or 3 stops, probably what we're looking at. As we've got the most people opting for the mediums, and we've got Sauce for Jesus and Shrek. And we've got Hards on Super Striker. Interesting start at the front with hard tyres. Could bog down at the start of the race for them. Corey on the hards, looking to go long towards the back. I think someone else was on hards. Someone else was also on sauce, but they've switched to medium. So obviously we'll see them all again when we get onto the formation lap, which will be on the way shortly, I believe. It's past 9:30. Oh yeah, here we go. We are green on the formation lap then. This is the chance for the drivers to heat up the tyres for the start of the race, make sure they've got plenty of fairly good temperature. And like I say, we'll keep an eye out on, see if we, if any other drivers out there can inform us of the weather. Although you're probably driving now, so I'm a bit late on that one. But it's a bit overcasty, and it does tend to rain here in Austria, so the rain could mix up the grid entirely. Everyone has their own different abilities in wet weather driving. Example, I think Hilly was one who's pretty good in the wet, so he's probably hoping for that sort of thing. Right, yeah, so quick confirmation then of the tyres. So, Sniper Monkey and Shrek turned out to be on the sauce, and it's hard for Super Striker and Corey still. Everyone else starting on the medium compound tyre. And Super Striker's going to have to look out on these on the hards at the start here. It's not exactly the most ideal choice for a starting tyre, but especially at the front, don't want to get bogged down and lose too many positions. So let's hope he can get for his sake, let's hope he gets a pretty decent start. It's a fairly short run towards turn 1, so not too much to worry about. It's more sort of the exit out of turn 1 and the run through turn 2 into turn 3. That's what's going to catch you out here anyway. Drivers now forming up on the grid. Everyone's sort of played this one quite nicely. 71 laps might seem a lot, but you got to remember this is one of the shortest tracks on the calendar, so it should hopefully fly by. Touch wood. There, you never know. If this is my camera angle for the race, I'm going to... Oh god, it really is going to be that. Right? We'll switch on board with Super Striker. We'll see the start light sequences. That's going to be happening very shortly. Here we go. It's 5 red lights. And lights out and away we go. A very long hold indeed. It's looking like a pretty good start from the likes of Phantom Dragon and Plum out ahead. But you can see there, even on the onboard, Super Striker was already getting a little bit bogged down on those hard tyres. The wheel spinned a little bit too much there and has immediately been overtaken by the likes of Cameron. And he's also under pressure from behind Spread and Dystopian there. Spread's up the inside, even looking at that. You've got the Williams and Alpines there fighting each other in the background. There's moves happening here, there and everywhere. Plum and Phantom Dragon are fighting each other on the run to turn 4 now. Here comes Phantom Dragon up on the inside. He hasn't quite got the exit he would have liked, but he's still just narrowly alongside Plum here. But Plum's now got the better line going through these next set of corners, I'd say. But a fair hefty try coming out here from Phantom Dragon in the Alpha Male. They're still going at each other all the way through Sector 2. Now they're entering Sector 3, still battling alongside each other. They're absolutely holding the pack up behind him as they're side by side through turns 9 and 10, and they're still going at it. Oh my word! How have no one of these guys come up off on top of each other? Now Phantom Dragon just gets ahead before the braking zone of turn 1, and Plum tucks in behind. He doesn't want to fight it one through there. Let's see what type of exit he gets. Immediately going defensive for Phantom Dragon. He tucks into the slipstream, gets alongside, pulls out now, going up to the outside line for the next corner as they make into the braking zone now. Phantom Dragon ahead in turn 1. The camera now starting to looking to get involved in the other AlphaTauri there. Tucking back in once again as Phantom Dragon manages to hold off the attack through turn 3, but can he hold it off now as they go to turn 4? He's going to dive it down the inside, trying to get the switchback move from the Alfa Romeo there. Hasn't almost managed to pull it off, and now they're side by side again through the louder curves here. And this time Plum has won out that battle and gets ahead of the Alfa Romeo. That was absolutely fantastic action from these two further back. We've got a scrap between the two Red Bulls as almost making contact there on our screens as they're entering now turns 9 and 10. Schmidty gets just ahead and gets a little bit off the track. Super Striker has come into the pits, by the way. Don't know what's happened to him, but he's had an awful start and he was leaking positions. Those hards simply were not the right tyre choice, and it's backfired rather heavily there. Akadre is also in the pit, so I'm just going to quick look whilst things are a little bit calm. Is there a front wing change? Yes, there is. So he's picked up front wing damage, and same for the other Mercedes. So some sort of incident must have occurred there, which I quite missed. Sorry, but there was a rather epic battle at the front going on, which has now sort of died off a little bit as the drivers, I think, burnt off the tyres a little bit too much. And with the DRS now enabled, this is when we'll start seeing the rather large trains forming. But looking at that, we have got a couple of gaps that are over a second between Shrek and Dystopian, Hilly and Sniper Monkey. As you've got the other drivers fighting Jesus and Schmitty, them two having a ding-dong. That's put them slightly out of sorts, but probably utilising the battery to try and close back in. The DRS is very much crucial and is probably the key to keeping within the race here. Fastest lap from Plum, 1:7.9, as he leads away on lap 4 at 71. And still under pressure from Phantom Dragon behind. Phantom's still got a shitload of ELS compared to Plum. Is Plum potentially struggling a little bit in that AlphaTauri? Further back, here is what looks at the back of Silent Oxford. He's made a brilliant start, up 5 places to P5 from P10. And under fueling as well, interestingly enough. We do see quite a lot of drivers under fuel, and it's quite a fuel burner this track, I'm gonna lie. Down the inside then for Dystopian has managed to make the boost stick. He's got brilliant traction at the exit of turn 4 there, going through 5 and into 6, 7 and 8. He's looking very cool and collected in that Aston Martin, but he doesn't quite have DRS. On the back of Spread, Spread we normally chat shit about is annoyingly doing well. So there goes that one there. But he's just keeping in touch with DRS, but pushing hard though is Dystopian to try and regain the DRS, but in doing so he's draining battery. He's not able to gain because the rest of them are all in a big DRS train helping each other along. But here comes Silent Oxen and Sniper Monkey to go for the overtake into turn 3. Silent Monkey's now going to try and do both of them. That's pretty impressive, but as this happens, it's allowed Dystopian to try and go back on the attack. They've all got DRS somehow, I don't know how, but every single one of them had their flaps open. Well, that's a joke that you can take out of film text. Can't wait for that to be clipped. And please shut myself for that one, that guy. And well, there you go. The Sniper Monkey has managed to stay out on top of that battle. Takes P5 away. We've got Hilly, who's just had a little bit of a wobble there and lost a couple of positions. He's down to 11th, and now behind Robbo, the championship leader. And, well, it's not looking good so far for him to be able to keep that lead as Master Spread up in 4th place. He's only 8 points behind in the championship. That at the moment would see a change at the top of the table. But then again, it's only lap 6 out of 71. We've still got a very long way to go, so anything can happen this time. Absolutely anything. We're going to go back on board with the Aston Martin. Let's see what type of exit he can get. So a little bit of wheel spin there for the going up the gears, but nothing too much. Hanger second to hold the phone. Phantom Dragon has gone round the outside, like the Trailer Park Girls. And has actually just managed to keep ahead going into the other curves here. It goes a little bit wide on the exit, but no, he's alright. He's alright there. He's alright. And so now Phantom Dragon retakes the lead from Plum. Is now the leader of that 4-car battle for P1. Spread, you can sort of see him, he's struggling a little bit more compared to the 3 up front. He's having, yeah, you can see on the ERS count, yeah, he's having to burn a bit more. Franz Piper is the first one to pick up the time penalty of the race. Very early to get it at that point, only up 7. That's going to hurt. But here comes Kamarov. Kamarov's looking pretty good to potentially challenge. He had a look just momentarily down the inside, but he's looking very close, almost pushing, practically almost pushing the likes of Plum. But now Plum is on the prow and he's gonna have to go the long way round the outside to try and make the move on Phantom Dragon. Phantom Dragon is just that much deeper. I think a little bit of contact must have happened there as the back end sort of stepped out. A little bit of a love tap, nothing dangerous at all. It's only a love tap. But whilst these guys are battling, they're not able to pull away too much time as they sort of held each other up in the corners. But with them DRSing each other, they just pull away from the likes of Dystopian behind. You can just see him coming into your screens on the distance there. So not quite counting him out into potentially being able to rejoin the lead battle. And, you know, he's bringing in a lot of cars as well. He's got a 4-car battle of his own. So this all of a sudden, you know, 4-car battle for P1 could very quickly turn into a 8-car battle for P1. That would be rather huge, sort of almost talking Bahrain terms when we had nearly a 17-car battle for the lead. And speaking of lead, it's just changed as down the inside goes Plum. Kamarov just running into the back of Phantom Dragon as he got caught up by Phantom Dragon having to go the very wide and the exit of turn 3. No damage happening, but now Phantom Dragon is back down the inside at turn 4. We could see this move happen quite a lot as he has a little bit of a step out with the rear end not quite sticking as he would have wanted, and that's going to cost him the ability to try and regain that position. It takes a better, tighter line than Plum through that corner there, but overall hasn't quite worked out. Further back, Super Striker and Akadre having a little ding-dong. P15, P16, it's points at the end of the day, so every little helps, as they say in the Tesco supermarket. Speedy's going to pick up both Red Bulls with 3-second time penalties. Not going very well for them two at the moment. Looking back at the battle for P5 then, between Dystopian Snubber Monkey, Silent, Oxen and Shrek. That's sort of having a little gan. Oh, well, hang on. Scratch that. We've got another move for the lead. I think we should really have like a count for how many times the lead position has changed, because at the moment I must count nearly 10 times already. Like 10 or 12 times. It's, you know, definitely happened more than once a lap, that's for sure. So this time, though, Phantom Dragon is going to stay ahead as they enter approach set to 3 even. The two at the back still battling away. I think they're just DRSing each other, which sort of helps them in the ability to try and catch back up after earlier pit stop with a front wing change. 14.4 seconds is the gap to close. The Franz Piper ahead though, so he's got a fair long way to go. Now I say fair, I mean extremely long way to go. The only other little train battle we have going on is for P9 involving Robbo, Corey and Hilly. But I think the main plan really for these guys is just being able to DRS each other for the speed and not waste too much time with overtakes and trying to battle, not trying to battle too hard. And as I say that, the inevitable has officially happened. Here is Dystopian, who has closed within DRS range of Master Spread, and if he maintains this throughout the second sector and third sector, dare I say it, we may have ourselves an 8-car battle for P1, but as I've said that, Shrek has sort of dropped back. I think he may have made a mistake, which has cost him a few tenths and has dropped him out of DRS. Oh, speaking of mistakes, there goes Dystopian! He's off and in the gravel, and a little scrape of the wall, but I think he's gotten away with it with no damage, and that is huge! Huge mistake there. As I sort of bigged him up for, oh, he's come back into this train. It's just, it's commentator's curse. It's absolutely gone wrong. It's absolutely gone wrong there. Terrible disaster for the Aston Martin Dystopian, and he's got points to try and gain, and could have gained a fair few on the likes of Robbo there. But now finds himself running in P13, and with slightly warm rear tyres after that one, and probably slightly brown stained trousers. Just to be the icing on the cake, which actually, to be fair, that would be rather disgusting if that was the actual icing on the cake. I hope you're not having your food whilst you're watching this, because you may have just lost your appetite. Anyway, we have a move here, a battle for P11 between Schmidty and Jesus. Jesus is almost going to be able to get the move pulled off through turns 5, 6 and 7 there, but hasn't quite done it, and stays behind Schmidty for now, but may have a good chance coming up in the next couple of corners, as he will have the DRS and is staying within good distance. That'll bring him to P11. And we'll also have a bit of a gap to close now to the battle ahead. Plumber's disconnected. Oh, not again. Not again. We saw this happen in FGR in the Tier 1 League, and he's disconnected again, and that is rather sad. He's come back in immediately though, so that's good. That's good. That's very good. So hopefully he doesn't lose 2 times. But he's now lost the lead of this race, and out of the top 3, this is promoted Spread up to P3, Camera up to P2, Phantom Dragon now leading. So are we going to see the likes of Phantom Dragon and Spread now getting involved in the battle for the main sort of overtaking as we saw it? And you know what? After all that, Phantom Dragon still really hasn't used any of his battery. Now that is actually rather impressive. There's something I haven't done. Oh, that stops. I like to see tyres. Just confirmation of Acadry went onto the sauce, then Super Striker went back onto mediums, as the hards didn't work out, and then obviously he must have had damage as we saw his front wing get changed. Was originally starting in P3 and finds himself running in 15th, so he's having a bit of a rotten old time there, unfortunately. But he's gaining. He is gaining on the field. It's only 8.8 now, 8.6 even behind France, and that gap is closing ever so quickly. And in doing so, it is also pulling along Akadre for good measure. So yeah, he can salvage them in this race, and you don't count out the chance for a safety car. And here we go. Here comes Plum immediately on the prow as he makes his way back through the pack. He gets ahead of Sniper Monkey to take P4, and next up on the line is Master Spread. Meanwhile, Jesus and Schmidty having a ding dong for P11 as Schmidty shoots back down the inside through turn 7 and 8 there. You don't see many moves there, and that was pretty nice indeed. Shame we didn't quite see the whole lot, and oh my word, what was that? That might have been the biggest tank slapper and the biggest save I've ever seen. That was, I mean, it was a bit laggy as well, but that was fantastic stuff there. But Jesus is the man to control the car. He is the man to do it. Right, and ooh, it looks like Sniper Monkey there has had a shocker of an exit through turn 3, and it has lost him the position to Silent Loxon, who now moves up to P3. And here we go, on board with Plum, with a certain Wigan person to overtake here, and he's almost had a go on the exit of the turn 6. That was almost almost going to be tragic, and he's moving, he's squirming, he's trying to find a way through. You can tell he wants to retake the lead, as he's right on he's all over the back of Spready, and is he going to potentially make the move into turn 1, utilising as much revs as he can, which, to be fair, even I started doing that, because, you know, going early up into 8th gear, you tend to bog down in terms of top speed instead of, you know, utilising revs, but obviously doing that, you're utilising more fuel, and we've got a spinner. It's Robbo, the championship leader, has had a spin at turn 1. He hasn't got any damage, but he's lost a lot of time and a lot of positions, and finds himself down in 14th. That is a huge loss for the championship leader, as Kamrov now is the next one to be under pressure from Plum's attack. But these two up front have got the more. Oh my word! It's lag and the potential threat of a back-end problem that just makes it look so much more terrifying than it probably actually is. Now again, we're on starting lap 15. Starting lap 16, I should say. So 15 laps completed on most of these guys' tyres. Sauce is still sticking, well, Sauce for Sniper Monkey sticking in there. Shrek has dropped off a fair bit, so I reckon the softs are probably starting to enter a bit of a struggle zone. The mediums will still be going hard, probably going to be the quickest of the tyres in this stage, if you ask me. But the mediums will definitely still be going fairly strong at this stage. I reckon the soft runners might be thinking about coming in the pits fairly shortly, especially for Shrek, because he's now stuck in the middle of nowhere, not gaining anything, not doing anything, so undercuts could be developed fairly shortly, put it that way. So Plum hasn't been able to make the move just yet on Kamrov, but all is good in the hood at the moment. Sound like Oxen now, but that's not the way I wanted to go. Yeah, there we go. Hopping on board, we just see just up ahead, see what Plum is doing. He's popping out, making himself aware, making sure that the two ahead knows that he's still back there, and he's still within the hunt. And you know what, out of this battle, Spread, definitely with the lowest amount of ERS, and is immediately under pressure from Oxen. Oxen's now going to have to go the long way around the outside, but as he hits the braking zone, he's clear ahead, and that's Spread dropping it. He's bottled it, he's dropped it on the exit of turn 3, right on the curb, and yep, that's disaster for Spread. In what he could have been doing to potentially capitalise on the fact that Robert is very down the order, he's now found himself down in P9. Hilly now, the sort of becomes the new lead challenger here, and looks to now be the one to take the lead. I told you, you know, anything can happen, and anything can still happen. Lap 17 out of 71, still a very long way to go. We're not even hitting halfway point just yet. Into the pits comes Sniper Monkey. I told you, these guys on the sauce will be starting to struggle, and that is without a doubt confirmation of that. So Sniper Monkey pulls in, and he'll be changing tires. Let's have a look here and see the pit stop. Ooh, it's a front wing change as well. So did he get caught up in that master Spread incident? It did look like Spread dropped it. I don't know if there was contact, so you know, let's not count that out, 'cause they were close together, Sniper Monkey and Spread. And that means Monkey is going to come all the way out in last. But he's on fresh mediums, fresh rubber. He's got the likes of the Franz Piper train, as Franz finds himself in the hefty heights of P12 here. And Schmini and Jesus still going to fight as Dystopian joins that battle, as well as he's after his earlier spin. As we caught that one in 4K. Genius stuff there. And, oh, for good measure, the Stopping picks up 3 seconds. Shrek now comes into the pits. That could be our first non-wing change pit stop as, Jesus has just lost 2 positions through turn 9 and 10. That's a rare sight. That is a very rare sight. So, Shrek comes out on medium compound tyres. And, just want to have a... hang on, we'll have a look at the race directors. That seems like it was a long stop. No, it wasn't a long stop. It's just... wow. Shrek has only just come out ahead of Franz Piper. And Sniper Monkey is almost within that train, so undercut is huge. And he goes on to medium tyres as well, as Robbo has been overtaken by Super Striker. Schmidty now leads this P8 battle between Dystopian and Jesus. Dystopian ahead of Jesus. Jesus dropping back a little bit, starting to struggle, as he was always struggling with the car, now struggling with the tyres a bit, I think. The back end, as we've so obviously and criminally seen. But here is Super Striker as Franz gets all kinds of out of shape through turn 9 there and goes redefying the last sector, to say the least. So up the inside into turn 1 for Super Striker, and it goes ahead of Franz, and Franz has a back end moment there. That's not very good, and he finds himself now running back in last place. And 3 wide, almost. It is going to be 3 wide in the background there. I think that was Robbo backing out on that one, playing a little bit safe and making sure it doesn't get spun around again, as that could be really disastrous. Now Stepping Monkey is going to go ahead of Super Striker. With those fresher tyres, you'd expect him to now fairly easily pull away from that group, but he's lost a lot of time that he's already lost quite a lot with the front wing change. Up 21, the medium runs yet to pit. We've got another yellow flag for France again. That's between turn 6 and 7, that. Sniper Monkey sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:75. I believe that's 4 times quicker than the 1:79 we saw from Plum. If he didn't join back, he would have been Plum last. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, that was terrible. It would only really worked if he was Plum last, wasn't it? Spread past by Corey, but spread back on the attack down the inside of turn 6. Gets almost managed to get ahead, but Corey with the better compounded tyre having the better grip here, but it's not quite over yet. Blasting the ERS now for spread as he's still derating with the battery issues. Tends to absolutely burn it off and goes off the track there. That definitely would have picked up a warning there. I say so myself, that would have definitely been a warning there for spread, unless the game's going to be, you know, easy on him, which I call paying the devs at that point. So Corey loses out to spread back up into 6th place, Philly running 5th at the moment, but obviously a couple of those people behind Shrek and Monkey have pitted. And Sniper Monkey is only 2 behind Shrek, so he's utilised the tyres pretty well to try and claw some time back. We've got Dystopian and Schmidty having a battle on the one on the run to turn 4. I'm not going to make that joke, that would get me cancelled. And Schmidty also going to get passed by Jesus as well in the same set complex, and for good measure he spins at turn 6 there. Cutting the grass he is, cutting the grass. Doing the circuit workers a favour there. Oh, Sniper Monkey pick up a 3-second time penalty. We've had a few spinners, but as the people's tyres start wearing down, they seem to be struggling a little bit with the traction. through some of these corners. The big one that seems to be getting people out is the very low traction zones, which is turn 3 and for some reason turn 6 and 7, with the issue with the curbs. But we also had a couple of spins at turn 1 as well. So yeah, a little bit of upsy downsy action. Action's calming down within the top 3. The Plum situation isn't looking great there. He's been stuck behind the likes of Cameron for quite a while now. And it used to be a 4-car battle involving Phantom, Kamarov, Plum and Spread. Now involves Phantom, Kamarov, Plum and Oxen. But as I said, that Plum has called the shots. He's dived into the pits, and this is definitely going to trigger some pit stops now. Spread and Corey both dive into the pits. Corey on the hards going into the pits. That's interesting. So maybe the hards were about to hit the rock there. Plum going onto hard compound tyres. Mediums for Corey. And Spread going on to the hards, obviously. Needs to switch compounds. So, still leading is Phantom Dragon, but that undercut probably means that by the time these guys pit, Plum will probably easily be leading, depending if Plum's held by traffic. He is within a little bit of traffic with the likes of Jesus and Dystopian and Shrek ahead, but Shrek has already made the pit, so actually Shrek has jumped Plum. Now that is interesting. So, what does this potentially mean then? As Kamarov Oxen goes into the pits, Phantom opts to stay out even longer, interesting enough. Pushing onwards as the back, it does look like people are getting very tentative, a bit twitchy on the back ends through some of these corners now, running in hot air. Pulling out to make the overtake. Shrek on Jesus. He's down the inside at turn 1. Has managed to pull that one off. Plum pouncing on the attack. We've got cars making moves. We've got cars also coming out the pit lane as well. It's getting a little bit chaotic down there. Stamper Monkey ahead of Oxen and Kamarov just about. But they're still fighting out in the background. We've got AlphaTauri trying to push his way ahead of Shrek, and he has managed to do it. Plum has been let through and released, and now he is on a charge against Dystopian. Dystopian's now immediately dived by the inside. He's got those worn out tyres. He's not going to be able to do much in defence or attack here unless a mistake from Plum, but no, he's through, and that is very good news for Plum, as now he is fully released. And Phantom Dragon is in the pits. Race leader has pitted and could potentially lose a few positions, but someone who isn't pitting, Hilly stays out. He wants to lead a lap in this Grand Prix as round the outside for Shrek, but that is Dystopia diving into the pits as well. Pit lane getting extremely busy, track getting a bit busy as well in that whole process, as Phantom Dragon is leaking positions, staying out that little bit longer. Hasn't quite helped in the undercut really. He's found himself behind the likes of Silent Oxen, as we got Dystopian Jesus going on to medium tyres. It was medium tyres for Phantom as well, so that's a medium hard potentially. Hards for Kamarov and Oxen. So strategies are getting a little bit mixed here. Super Striker, who was started 3rd, runs in 8th, yet to pit though, and has got a whole heap of cars behind him that are going to be very quicker as well. So Shrek with the undercut attempts finds himself ahead of a couple of those drivers, but he's 6 laps older tyres compared to the others as well, so he's going to be feeling the effects there. Plum with the huge undercut and being able to clear some of the other slower guys, finds himself in a net P1 as they all gain upon Hilly, who is still out there and still going on those mediums. So Hilly, the new race leader then. Spread and all that are jumping Super Shrek as he comes into the pits. Shrek has now been overtaken by Kamarov, as he will now try and make his way and try and gain on the likes of Plum. Corey and Spread battling now. This time you'll see Corey on the mediums and Spread on the hards. Hards at the start of the stint are definitely not going to be quicker than the mediums, that's for sure. So actually Spread will kind of need this Corey had to help him pull along. Try and make some time back up to the likes of Silent Oxen. He's got a sub 9-second gap there after his earlier spin, and still barely any battery left to use. You would have thought after all this time of potentially people making jokes saying, "Oh, you're with your battery usage," you would have thought maybe I might try and save a bit of battery for some battles, but he's in fairness, he did have to push probably a lot harder than the rest to stay within DRS. So that's probably why it's a little bit low. Which, in fairness, if you're I know the feeling. You're a slow grinder within battles of people you would never really think about battling. I had to push on BRS as well to stay there, up and pull along. Trust me, it backfires. It backfires big time. So here's Spread staying on board as he's closed into the Mercedes. The gap between Carroll and Plum is increasing very slightly, and Shrek is just hanging on to the back of Cameron, pulling it along nicely. Snapper Monkey just dropping out of DRS from Phantom Dragon as Silent Oxen approaches behind him. Quick update then on the penalty situation. 3 seconds for the likes of Shrek, Dystopian and Jesus, and then we've got 6 seconds for the likes of Corey, Schmidty and Franz. 9 seconds for Snapper Monkey at the moment. That's pretty big. 29 laps done in this race. That's very big. We're not even at the halfway stages yet. Yikes. Confirmation then that Plum has taken the lead from Hilly. Hilly yet to stop in this Grand Prix. Everyone else has made at least 1 stop. 2 stops from the likes of Akadre and Super Striker, who already had to made a front wing change at the start of this race. And on a bit of a recovery. There's a quick stats on position changes, obviously you can tell by how bad Super Striker's race is going. Down 9, down 5 for both Robbo and Akadre. They're not having good races at all. Down 2 for Spread. It was had a good race. It sort of backfired after his spin at turn 3. There we go. We've got action again. This is now between Carol, Phantom and Shrek. All now battling each other as they go to turn 3. They're 3 wide going through there. And that is Shrek losing out on the pair of the positions. Phantom Dragon going through both of them, taking back to P2. And also getting involved is Haley. As Haley's also, sorry, it was Haley getting dropped back. I forget Shrek's in the Williams in the Alpine. Haley doing 29 laps on those mediums. They are going to be absolutely shot. He must be trying to push for a potential 1 stop in this race, and I absolutely respect that from Hilly. Mad respect on that one. If that works, then immediately he will get the driver of the day. If that works, he gets like a top 5. Yeah, absolutely. That's an unbelievable strategy if he pulls that off. If he pulls it off, he's now been overtaken by Snapper Monkey. He goes too deep and makes contact with the Oxen for good measure. Oh, and he's out of the race! He's lost it and goes into the browse zone. We've got a safety car deployed, understandably, right in the bit of a kill zone there. Went too hot and heavy into turn 1, making contact with the Williams, losing the back end and sends himself into the tyre barriers. And, well, all of a sudden, we have now got ourselves a new battle on. Bear with me, there's a little bit of an issue going on there. Hopefully not too bad. No, we're still going. Sorry, issue on my play about that. I got scared now, thinking, God, don't tell me something gone wrong there. Right, well, I'll tell you what, this whole race is now completely changed. A couple of people pitting understandably, Robbo going to medium tyres, Schmitty on the hards. This could completely turn. This has completely turned the race all ahead of some people. Right, into the pits then. It's on Oxen, Hilly. Wow, Hilly's staying out has actually worked immensely. He can probably go. He can definitely go to the end of this race. Oh, he's. Oh, that's like. I thought he was stuck in the pit lane, and no, I was like. A lot of people opted to pit that have already pitted, which is without a doubt not a surprise. But there's also a lot of people staying out. Those are the top four: Plum, Phantom, Karov, Spread. I mean, what they've done: 8 laps of Spread and Plum, 7 laps of Karov, 6 laps of Phantom. I can understand Phantom, Karov, and that's staying out here, but it's a lot of laps, so it's different strategies. Well, they're more fair than staying out. They haven't done all that much. They won't have too much wear on the tyres. But yeah, well, they could find themselves getting caught by the likes of Shrek and Healy on fresh tyres. Jesus staying out on 6 above mediums. He's got the likes of Corey and Slam Oxen behind. He's pitted for the soft tyres. Super Striker now back up with the pack. Let's see if he can make any more progress. He's stayed out on mediums, 5 up old. Dystopian pitted back on for hards. Akadre staying out on his hards. Robbo pitting for mediums. Schmidt pitting for hards. They're all back in the race. As safety car conditions then, no overtaking. Cars must remain within 10 lengths of each other when they are part of the safety car queue. And obviously those behind have a chance to catch back up to the pack. And the race is completely neutralised, as safety car will probably take us to the halfway point by the time it might come in. So we sort of have ourselves a 50% race, really. Tail the two halves. Basically what you can count this as, really. You know, the only difference is that not everyone's pitted, so it sort of changes it a bit. Whereas if it was a case of everyone pits, then you can class it as a sort of new race, really, with a new starting order. This is now just a strategist nightmare. You know, Bernie Collins, you know, she'll be having a fit, an absolute fit, or an over excitement moment. PG term for that one. Right then. So, as the safety car crosses the line yet again, starting up 34, I believe it will be in this lap, as the lost car there, Schmitty, will be able to catch up, which means it'll be in and we'll be racing again on lap 35, which is roughly the halfway point. That's 71 laps, you can't really make half of 71. Well, the halfway point will be halfway through lap 35, so yeah, fuck you. So that was a big risk, wasn't it? So, quick rerun through the order then. Plum leads from Phantom Dragon, then we've got Karov and Spread. 5th is Shrek, Hilly 6th, Jesus 7th, Corey 8th, Silent Oxen in 9th, Super Striker 10th, Dystopian 11th, Akadre 12th, Championship leader Robbo in 13th, France Piper 14th, Schmitty running 15th. Safety car in this lap. This allows Plum to now dictate the pace of the pack, and when that safety car is pulled off into the pits, you can then determine when the cars can go, but no overtaking until you've passed the start-finish line. In terms of the game, in terms of the real fun, it's the first safety car line, I believe. It's the first or second, can't fully remember. So, when will he go? The other cars there working in the background, and he has gone just before turn 9. It's a fairly decent restart, but reacting well is Phantom Dragon. Not too bad. Hill goes slightly wide, picks up a time penalty for doing so. So a pretty decent restart then, done by Plum, who leads them over the line, starting up 35. We are now officially... Yeah, Basson didn't say for it. Yeah, fuck it. We're officially halfway through the race. As Spread has to look in his mirrors a little bit from the guys on the fresher tyres. Shrek then has a look down the inside, doesn't quite make the move just yet, he's a little bit too far back to do anything there. Those guys on Sauce needs to crack on with it really, they can't afford to just dingle-dally around, they need to just push and go for it. Full send, as they say. I don't know who says, but it is dystopian getting close to Super Striker here. Spread on his tyres has lost out within the DRS range. And obviously DRS won't be activated for another lap here. I've got to do 3 laps before DRS is reactivated for a safety car restart. And here we go then. Here's the move for Jesus and Corey in the background, you can see. As Corey gets ahead, he's now making his progress. And next up for him is Hilly, as he tucks in, utilising his back redeployment there, but backing off knowing that he's not quite going to be able to do it. Phantom Dragon has got ahead of Plum in turn 4 and retakes the lead of the Grand Prix. Plum's just going to sit behind for now. Those mediums are going to be better for the Alfa Romeo, as a bit of dust flicking off from Cameron's car there. Strays a little bit wide. My God, Spread, how have you burnt off all your ERS already? You've got nothing left. He's used it within the space of like 2 laps. It's got nothing left. How is... I mean, yeah, he's done it to get back within DRS, but he's got nothing left. He's now going to be slower on the straights because he's got no battery. And look at this, he's got Shrek down the inside. Hasn't quite made the move as Spread holds the outside line, which tends to have the better traction. But here comes Hilly though. Hilly's going to bounce through after that one. I think Shrek might have had a bit of a poor exit there. But Shrek's going to fight this the long way round the outside. Almost goes onto the gravel, but just managed to keep it within field. Got the Mercedes Acori lurking behind, as well as Silent Oxen, as they've both been ahead of Jesus now. Spread just managing to stay in that 9/10 gap, as he's sort of always been really. Should be with another 3 seconds. Here we go. There's a gaggle. Oh my God, there's everyone's within DRS all the way from P11 to P1 here. Jesus. This could get messy. This could get very chaotic. Not messy, chaotic. That's the right word to use. There's going to be a potential move here for the lead. Now they're backed off, so let's go further back. You can see down the inside for Corey on Shrek. Shrek having to fight this one out. Manages to hold off for now, but still remains under immense amount of pressure from the Mercedes. He's tucked back in, utilising the ERS as they head towards turn 4. Is he going to send it down the inside? He thought about it and almost but has to back out of it just in the end. That gap was always going to close there. So he manages to hold off just for now. And Oh, these guys are all very close again. Bless me, sorry, that's probably disturbed. I've woken up a few of you at least. Can I apologise on that one. Dystopian getting again very close to the back of Super Striker here. And potentially could make a move as he's nearly alongside as they head now towards turn 1. But turn 1 is very difficult to make the overtake. He's much quicker through the corners. You just see it there. He's much quicker. I think he may have a slightly better downforce package for Dystopian compared to straight line speed. And let's just take a moment to appreciate looking backwards on his current there, as there's cars here, there, and everywhere. And speaking of cars here, there, and everywhere, it looks like Corey is almost under a little bit of pressure from Oxen. I think Oxen's wanting Corey to try and make some moves happen here because he's starting to get a little bit impatient, knowing that those soft tyres need to be worked hard in the opening stint before they lose their advantage. But they've also got to make sure they stay within this DRS train, otherwise they could become very vulnerable. As Dystopian, again, he gets close within the corners, but on the straight lines, you know, in the straights, he's just losing that much time that he can't make the overtake pull off. He's got to be smart about where he makes his move. Again, gets within 1/10, but as the Super Striker now starts pulling away, it's going to be like that for quite a while, really. Not what he really needs. Akadre with 3 seconds. Hilly overtaking Spread. Hilly puts himself into 4th place. Fred with no penalties though, which is going to help. At the moment at least. And here we go, Plum getting quite close to Phantom Dragon here, but not quite going to make the move just yet. And in reality, everyone is getting pulled along by Phantom Dragon. It's actually quite funny thinking about that. It literally is. It literally is Phantom Dragon pulling another 10 cars. Quite impressive, actually. Quite impressive. And satisfying to watch. Here we go. We've got a couple of cars pulling out to make moves. It's Shrek on Spread as they go towards turn 1. He's down the inside still. Has to take a bit more of the inside line, and it's ruined his exit. Corey now on the prance. Slow is Oxen as well. This is going to get a bit intense as they make the run towards turn 3, and it's going to be Corey to make the double move on Spread, and Spread, he's gone too deep. He's off the track. Spread's a little bit inflicted by that. He's going to have to take a bit of a defensive charge against the likes of Oxen as well, as he's getting involved in this battle. They now going back down the inside for Oxen. Both of the soft runners could make the moves here. He's through on Spread. Spread's worries is still not over yet as Jesus and Shrek are getting involved. He's now having to defend from absolutely everyone. He's losing more positions. That's another 2 positions he's almost lost up there. Jesus now down the inside of Spread. He's under an immense amount of pressure. Jesus hasn't quite done it. Here comes Super Striker as they're making their run towards turn 9. They're going to go side by side through here. This could be disastrous. He's got front wing damage. Yep, he's going into the pits. I could immediately tell there by the symbol that he's got front wing damage. And he was struggling in those loud curves. It has gone very wrong for Spread, and I reckon that is probably a very angry man in Wigan. I'm surprised not everyone in there can probably hear him. Silent Oxen has got ahead of Corey. These guys have lost out DRS to the top 4, which is good news for Hilly, especially as he's carrying that 3-second time penalty. Super Striker up into 8th place, under a little bit of pressure from behind. It's actually Dystopian and Robbo that was almost going side by side through turn 4. Nothing quite happening there though, just quite yet. Super Striker is another one. He's got a bit of a gap as they all get a little bit held by the hassle Spread going back into the pits as he pitted onto medium compound tyres. That will probably see him through to the end of this race, I'd imagine, as almost losing the back end did Shrek though. Almost looked like it. Silent Ox and the Corey are going to battle each other here. No, they're going to tow each other potentially, and that could help them to try and break into the DRS of those ahead. And speaking of those ahead, here comes Plum on Phantom Dragon potentially. Not quite. They are getting very close. Carav also getting very close. None of them using ERS at all. Oh no. Spread has retired in the pits. He's furious, he is. And here comes Kamarov. Kamarov making an attack on Plum, forcing Plum to go defensive. As oh, we've got incident. It's between Super Striker and Jesus. They're both massively off in the gravel at turn 4. Oh, that's, I wonder what's happened there. Jesus stops to let everyone go through on the track. That's very nicely rejoined. Hilly and Kamarov into turn 9. That's a brave move, and he's pulled it off. That is fantastic stuff. Phantom Dragon, by the way. I wonder what's happened there as Plum shoots into lead and out of DRS as well. What has happened there? Oh, that's what's happened. He's utilising all of his battery. He's pulling away. Right, Dystopian comes into the pits as well. So what's happened there? Is that for a front wing change? It is for a front wing change, so there must have been an incident involving Dystopian, Super Striker and Jesus then. That's, can only probably describe that one. So, right, Plum takes the lead and immediately pulls out a 2.2 second gap with the utilisation of some battery deployment. Phantom Dragon could start showing signs of struggling on those medium compound tyres. They are 18 laps worn in. So, dare I say, he might be thinking about the pits as the pit icon is there and it is highlighted. So, as I thought that might show when they are going to pit, but I guess not deployment used. Well, that's a first, but Hilly's overtaking Phantom Dragon. Kamarov seems to be fairly down the order. What's happened there? I didn't even notice some of these things off the times. So, Freak goes Hilly into P2 ahead of Phantom Dragon, but Phantom Dragon's going to fight this one back potentially. No, he's going to slot just behind, and meanwhile, Kamarov is going to be under pressure from Corey. We've got Silent Oxen, Robbo, Akadre all fighting each other through turn 3. Akadre is going to go the long way around the outside with the better traction, gets ahead of Robbo. Robbo is going to tuck back in to try and fight this one back, but not quite going to be able to do it. Shrek is ahead of Oxen, as those softs probably starting to show signs of struggling as well, but will also still have pretty decent pace, as we see to the likes of Kamarov, who's probably suffering the effects of tyre wear at this point, I'd imagine. 20 laps in on those tyres, and for a moment Corey looked to do a move for a second there, and I'm going to stay on board with this one, as this one could actually be an overtake very shortly. He's had a very good exit there, pulls out to go the long way around the outside of turn 1, the side by side into the braking zone. Later breaks there by the AlphaTauri as almost going off track and managed to stay there, and that's a good move there by Corey. And now Kamarov has to look even further back as Shrek is now right up on the prance as they head towards turn 3. Is he going to think about a late charge on the inside? No, they're going to step behind it just for now. Dystopian fastest lap of the race, 1:68. Akadre, Robbo both fighting out just behind them, as Robbo now gets ahead of the Mercedes. And Kamarov and Jill standing out behind, and yeah, this is definitely the signs of tyre wear here. Those that have stayed out are starting to struggle here, and you can tell by the fact that Akadre is now lost out to a position to Schmidty. Kamarov losing a lot of time now, as immediately Corey has pulled away on slightly worn out softs, and under a lot of, well, Jesus is first. Hang about. Jesus has worked his magic to be fair, we will have a lobby glitch as spread left, which is stupid. And they go free wide and ghosting. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. And this is never a good sign. I don't like it when we start ghosting like that. So, here we go. Let's see, I think we're still going alright in this race. I think everyone's still here. Or are we still here? You know what? I'm suddenly thinking we might not be. I think the lobby may have glitched here. Oh, this is... Oh, no, no, no. This ain't looking good, lads, I'm gonna lie. I'll be honest with you, this doesn't... Something doesn't seem right. I think we've lost some drivers. Oh, well, Cameron's got 360 out, so Cameron's definitely here. You know, we'll just keep an eye on the action. Whilst it's up, I'll have a look in the admin chat. Bear with me for the type in there. We'll keep an eye on the on-track action, and I can only apologise for the slight timing screen issues. And oh, yep, well that's confirmed it really, isn't it? He's disconnected and it's retired him. Theo says I think she's retired the other. Maybe. To be honest, Theo, I think what's happened is Spread's left in a fucking fit of rage, and he's now made me rage. You know, I apologise, viewers. This has rather ruined the mood, and I'm probably about to go off on one in a minute. It ruins it. It really does ruin it. You know what? I think that is right. I am going to recharge on the lobby. Apologies for the technical delay here, but let's rejoin, because this is definitely glitched and it's annoying me on the timing screen, so I can't keep up with actually where people are. Apologies, viewers. Technical difficulties. Let's insert funny music here. Fuck's sake. Let's try and find Robbo. He's in the lobby. I think I did that pretty well, not gonna lie. Right. Fingers crossed, toes crossed and everything. Oh yeah, the Phantom Dragon's still out. Ah, yeah, I apologise, viewers, on behalf of the issues there. So it was a glitch, but the glitch has still affected Phantom Dragon. So thank you, Shield, for this solution. Thank you very much. So it was glitch for me then, big time. It fucked the lobby slightly, but it looks like we're back on with it. So right, here's a quick rerun through the order, and he'll leave these ahead of Plum, Kamarov, and Shrek. So that makes more sense now. That makes a lot more sense. Robbo is now up to P6. As into the pits comes Corey. We're back on track with things. We are back on. I'm definitely going to have some strong words with someone after this, because that's really annoyed me. And it's very bad for Phantom Dragon there. He's disconnected and it's retired his car. Which is a huge shame. A huge shame. He was on for a pretty good race. But anyway, nevertheless, let's move on. It's happened. We're back on track. Hilly leading, but he's got the penalty, which is going to hurt him here. Plum with no penalties, running in second place, but he's got 27 laps on those hard tyres. Is he going to push it? No, he isn't. Surely it's still a very long way to go. I think everyone's probably going to make another stop here, to be fair. Out predicted as to how long is still left in the race. It happens, 100%, like a line. You sort of think, oh, it must be getting quite close to the end, and you realise, oh no, there's still a very long way to go. Karov gets ahead of Plum, and Schmidty is out. And that is a safety car. He has lost it on the exit of turn 1. He is claimed victim to the spins of death. And he is out of here. Yeah, that's the first time I may have had like an actual lobby disconnection. That's the first time in a while this new internet. Very first time. It's mad. At least the stream stayed up. I'd say. Thank you, Theo, for the message. It was confusing as Carol was picking up penalties then. I was like, oh, well. And then the Phantom Dragon leaving and being forced to retire also confused me, and it actually is a thing, which is a little bit sad. It's very sad. I hate the fact that the game does that. I really hate the fact that the game does that. Well, so here we go then. Everyone's into the pit. Safety car deployed. And this will be the last stint everyone does, guaranteed. Hilly on mediums, Carroll on mediums, gets ahead. Plum held up in the pits as he's the second AlphaTauri there. As luckily Carroll got ahead at the right time there. He'll be pretty happy about that one. Both the Williams jumps Plum. So, but Plum's gone on soft tyres, so I'll keep an eye on that one. Oxen went on to used medium tyres. I mean, he must have not had any new sauce. If he had new sauce, I probably would have gone on them. But, you know, if he didn't have them, then yeah, that's probably the right course of action there. The right choice, even. So, where's Robo? Robo's in 8th. Hilly leads, so at the moment, if we're looking in terms of the points in the championship, as it stands, Hilly would be at the top. Even with penalties, there's a lot of people with penalties. The only ones that don't have penalties is Robbo, Plum, and Silent Oxen. So, huge shout to those guys. But it's not over yet. Still got a way to go. So, you know, they might be on 2 warnings, or they might be on 1 warning, or they might not even have any warnings. I suspect that our resident esports driver, Plum, probably doesn't have any. As right. Plum comes back into the pits. That's interesting. Oh well, he's going to be at the back of the grid. He's gone to the mediums. He's the strategist there at the AlphaTauri garage has blown up. So yeah, we're good. Don't worry. Just respond to a few messages up. We're back. So yeah, confirmation that is actually buggy for those guys racing at the moment. So we've got a bit of a buggy lobby, so keep an eye on the actual time screen. Safety car's in this lap, by the way, as it's almost away we go. thought we were going there for a second. But he's held on to this one. He's utilising max rest. These guys are probably now pretty overfueled now at this point. And here we go then. We have got Hilly on the charge, leading out front from Karov, and then we've got Sandox in there, and we've got Plum. He's now got a lot of work to do all the way down from P12. He's already passed ahead of France, so he's already now starting to make his move. Both the Williams are now going to have a fight down towards turn 3. Better traction around the outside for Oxen means he gets to stay ahead just about. Corey now is going to be ahead of Shrek, as also looking back down the inside momentarily for the Williams, but it's not quite going to happen just about yet. Is Akadre and Dystopian. They're going to go side by side into turn 6 here, and Dystopian is just going to come out ahead. Meanwhile, is Plum, who is just holding his own card. He's got a lot of work. Like I say, he's made himself do a lot of work there. The guys at AlphaTauri in the strategy department are probably going to get sacked. At least on one side of the garage. The other side of the garage is probably laughing. Right here. Continuing on then, Hilly is still leading an almost broken DRS from Kamarov. Hilly is he's a man on a mission. He is an absolute man on a mission. He needs to get the gap to the likes of Oxen though, as he's the one that hasn't got the pens and is just behind Karov, and now he's broken DRS, and both of them have used a lot of battery deployment as well. Up 56 out of 71, still a fair little bit of way to go. Plum now makes progress on another car, but he's still fighting him as they head towards through to turn 4, and now this time Akadre sets in just behind. So Plum back up to P10, as again, still a long way to go. Dystopian all the way up in 8th, he's got past Jesus, and now he's looking to challenge Robbo, as he sets just behind for now. And goes through the final corner there with a very good exit, and is all over the back of that Alpine. He's looking like another person. He's looking very, very racy. DRS now enabled. The Kamarov has just come back within DRS range of Hilly. Almost quite worked, but just managed to creep back in, and now Kamarov should probably close that gap very shortly. Plum up ahead of Jesus as well, as Dystopian couldn't quite make the move just yet, utilising a higher downforce setup. You can tell by just the sheer exit speeds he's able to get. Is now alongside Robbo as they head towards turn 4. It's going to be later on the brakes for Dystopian for sure. This is probably his best chance to make this move stick. He is through and ahead of Robbo, and Plum is still just lurking in the background. We can keep an eye on this, as this is where most of the battles are going. Plum nearly pushing Robbo from some of them corners, as Robbo struggling a little bit for grip here and there, but he's getting it back up to speed and still within DRS of everyone else. So it's only Shrek that has momentarily lost DRS, but he's only just outside a second. I imagine he'd probably be able to close that gap up. I think he's hovering. It's very much hovering. Oh, he's going to have to utilise even more ERS. Ooh. That's going to hurt his battery. He's actually nearly ran out of juice. There's Plum goes down, down the inside. It's gone round the outside of Robbo and goes ahead into P8, making very good progress indeed. But I expect nothing less. I expect nothing less. Here comes Dystopian then. Oh, as he touches the back of that McLaren. Yeah, I can say he has got so much downforce. It is a very unusual setup. It kind of works if you're out of the DRS battles, but this is where it hurts on the straight, so you can't really gain enough. He's utilised all his battery as well. So he's going to be a bit vulnerable to Plum. Plum sets the new fastest lap of the race at 1:63. He will be picking up the extra points as it stands. You still do get the extra point for the fastest lap. points are scored in every position as spin for Akadre at turn 1. Looks like he's got away with it in terms of damage. Fans of Dragon, if you're watching the stream, mate, unfortunately your car's been retired. He didn't notice. I was just seeing his message that he didn't notice he was out because, again, from my point of view, you couldn't even tell that I was out of the actual lobby. So yeah, yeah, whatever. Let's let the ball then. Here we go then. Here is Dystopian on the back of Super Striker yet again. Hasn't been able to make the move, but his downforce compared to Australian speed is making. Oh, Akadre is out, and his car has immediately disappeared. So I don't even know where he lost it. But it must have been a crash, as we've got another safety car. That's the third safety car of this race. And I believe, I'd be shocked if we don't have another row of pit stops now for everyone going onto soft tyres. I'd be very shocked. Staying out now would definitely be a backfiring. Hint, hint. Please pit. If everyone pits, who could this screw up? Could potentially screw up Shrek. The only other two. The other team with two cars at the moment is AlphaTauri. Everyone else is sort of a one-car team. Oh, we've got overtaking on the safety car. Oh, right. So not everyone is pitting, but a couple of people are opting to pit, and that is Robbo, Jesus, and Super Striker. Wow, I'm actually surprised. I would have thought everyone would have pitted. 10 laps to go. Well, wouldn't you go for some fresh softs? I mean, unless you don't have fresh softs, and in which case I understand. But if you have them, that is definitely 100% the right call to do. Franz Piper is also coming into the pits, so fresh sauce for Striker, Robbo, Jesus, and France. They could make some immense immense progress even. Continuing on then. So like I say, safety car number 3, it's like 61 out of 71, only about 10 laps to go. And those on those fresh sauce should make a very good late charge here. Hilly still leads ahead of Kamarov. You can all see the people tyres. I don't think we need that anymore, as the important one now becomes the penalty tab. It is sat at 3 seconds for Jesus, Striker, Shrek, Kamarov and Hilly. All of them on a 3 second. It's 9 seconds for Corey and Dystopian. That's hugely bad at this stage of the race. So that's pretty much guaranteed. At the back of the field, as diving into the pits comes Corey. And, oh, he's also sped into the pit lane. Oh dear. That's backfired that one, not gonna lie. So 12 seconds for France, and what was 9 seconds for Corey has turned into 14 seconds. So that is guaranteed last place, even if you make a lot of progress. That's you're guaranteed finishing at the back. So a lot of penalties, not a lot of laps left in this race. By the time we get restarted, we'll probably have 8 laps of racing, and there's still a chance that you get another safety car, especially if there's an instant immediately afterwards. Like you still got 1 safety car. I think the max you can get is 4 safety cars and 4 virtual safety cars per race, and if it's 25%, you only get 2 max. It's not how it's been. I think it's how it still is. So, safety car in this lap. Hilly is going to lead this restart again. He's got Camero for company as well, and the two Williams, as Plum is only in 6th place. 3 drivers with no pens. All of them have got a huge shot here of potentially becoming 1, 2, 3 if they all stay together. We were having 16 runners, we're now down to 11 runners in this race. Here we go then. It is away we go then. We're green and racing. DRS is disabled for another 3 laps. Is Hilly going to get the gap that he needs to potentially stay ahead and win this race, or will he fall short? Luckily, the 3 people who don't have pens are also on Xbox, so that'll make interviews a bit easier. Plum is immediately going to make the overtake on Dystopian as he's gone down the inside at turn 4. Also being overtaken is Franz Piper. Sorry, no. I tell you what, that's Franz Piper making an overtake. I can say, but oh no, he's being re-overtaken. Oh. Again, I still apologise for that one. Alright, Plum trying to make the move on Shrek. Shrek is going to just stay ahead of Plum, and Dystopian still right up the arse of Dystopian. Robbo and all those guys on the fresh sauce are making not enough progress really, but as Plum sort of gets through, I think they will all follow through really. Shrek just dipping out of DRS reach, but it's not enabled just yet. Karov still holding a lead of about 5/10. Holding within 5/10 of the lead, I should say. That's the right way of going for it. Robbo goes ahead of Super Striker. Super Striker under pressure from Jesus as well. Robbo looking to get ahead of Dystopian as well as they go into turn 4. Through goes Robbo almost, but around the outside. Better exit for Dystopian, and he's retaken that position, but it's not over yet. They're still fighting on the way towards turn 4 then. Robbo is clear ahead, but that downforce package that Mastermind is running is helping him a huge amount to stay ahead of that Alpine, and is now having to fight within the corners area. This is where the Mastermind will have the biggest advantage, and Dystopian stays ahead to Robbo's disappointment, and Jesus is still batting away with Super Strikers. They're going to go side by side into turn 9 here. Here we go. Super Striker gets ahead of the Haas for P8. DRS then is now enabled. Plum is within that leading pack. The top 5 there all within DRS each other, and they're going to fight each other for P1. But Oxon and Plum are going to be enjoying the fact that they don't have the penalties. They will stay ahead. In the meantime, Robbo now finally gets back past ahead, and so is Super Striker. Going to challenge, it goes down the inside of both of them, and almost made the double move stick, but it hasn't quite worked out entirely, as Robbo now has to defend from the McLaren, as they're getting very hairy inside by side, and a deeper on the brakes by Dystopian means he's now going to fight to regain the P6 from Robbo. He's down the inside into turn 6, where he's had the advantage on the downforce, but he hasn't quite got alongside enough. Jesus gets back past ahead of Super Striker. They are fighting extraordinarily hard in the back of this midfield pack, whilst the front lot are being a little bit calmer about their situation. Super Striker somehow managed to come back out ahead of Jesus, and they're going to go at it again towards turn 1, where Striker almost goes every single one of them are always going into the eating my own words here, Christ, almost all going into the back of each other. Dystopian now flies back past ahead of Robbo, but Robbo's now going to try and go send it back down the inside. They make a bit of contact, that might have given him a tiny little bit of end plate damage on the front wing, but I don't think I saw anything come off just yet, so he might have gotten away with that one. But it was a bit of a whack, was that, as now Super Striker gets ahead of Robbo. Robbo going to be under pressure from Jesus a little bit as he tries to go the long way round the outside in turn 4, but it hasn't quite worked out. Corey's still trying to get involved in that one, and that is now sort of somehow Dystopian out of all that is staying ahead and is being a bit of a pain in the arse considering he's on the more used set of softs. He is definitely being what is called a pain in the arse for these guys. Further back, here comes Plum. He's just hanging on in there. Both Oxen and Plum don't really need to make the moves. It's just between them two, whoever comes out on top to win this race. As the two ahead have got 3 second time penalties. But obviously them two are technically fighting for third in reality. So it's anyone's game. Anyone's game in the top 4 there. But the winners are definitely between Oxen and Plum, unless they get a penalty, in which case it could be any of them. Absolutely any of them. Lap 67 out of 71. We are very much at the closing end of this Grand Prix and don't think we'll have any chance of a safety car now. So it is all about skill. Super Striker get ahead of Dystopian and got a tiny bit of gap as Robbo remains in P8. But it's still fairly decent points as running a little bit off the track there is Dystopian, but I think he managed to get away with it. No, this is 12 seconds of time penalties is still a lot, considering a lot of them are pretty close together. You gotta do your best not pick up any more, otherwise you really could drop a fair few positions. As down the inside, Super Striker on Shrek. Shrek is also going to be under pressure a bit from Dystopian behind as he gets, like I say, gets all the exit in the world with the downforce. Hasn't quite managed to stick. Silent Oxen has been passed by Plum, and that could be the P1 deciding unless Oxen goes for the last minute attack. Dystopian on track, he goes clean around the outside and off the track for the Super Striker, makes a huge mistake almost into the gravel, and Dystopian is now somehow back up into P5. Oh my word, that this man is literally driving a hell of a machine on ice tyres at this point. It's unbelievable how he's somehow staying ahead. I mean, he's got the pen, so he's going to drop a lower position, but Shrek picks up another one, by the way, I think. Oh no, it was Corey picked up another one. He's on 17. Oh dear. Franz as well picked up another one as well, so for good measure. Here we go then. Oh! Oh my word, there's a spinning Aston Martin. It's Dystopian. What's happened there? He's spun with some pretty good style there, not gonna lie. I don't know what happened there, but I'm about it, man. That was stylish as fuck. That was a reverse entry into turn 3. A sort of reverse 360. Bro, that was fucking lit. I'm not gonna lie, I'm shocked. That was I mean, it's lost in positions, but it was a pretty good move. Damn. I rate that a lot. Right, so Robo after all that is now back up to P6. He's got Super Striker ahead, he's got the pen. And it's looking to potentially get to P5 if all stays as is. Again, 2 more laps to go. And well, these are the crucial top 3 positions we need to look at here. I reckon these 4 could get a bit more lively on the final couple of laps here, as well, as it stands, in theory, Plum will be P1, Oxen will be P2, Hilly will be P3. Further behind, you've got Jesus and Robbo fighting a little bit here. They're side by side through turns turn 6 and 7. I've been going on turn 9 for a bit, haven't I? Oh dear. And hearing me to death. Right, last lap. This is where we will stick. He will come out well at the moment. Across the line for the glory it will be Hilly as it stands, but he's going to have to utilise his battery now to defend from Kamarov as he is going to go fully on the attack. Here he comes. He's approaching, but he's not quite going to be able to make the move just yet. He needs to focus on the exit out of turn 3. It's not too bad, but I think Hilly has definitely had the better of the two exits, and that could be crucial in potentially securing, but he's coming back from the long way. Dice it down the inside on turn 4. Hilly has just lost out. Oh, there's a bit of contact between Plum. Plum sent it out of nowhere. Is this going to allow Oxen to challenge maybe? No, not quite. Hilly losing 2 positions there as a bit of a send there from Plum, but he's pulled it off. And Plum almost looking like to stay on top at P3, but provisionally across the line it is going to be Kamarov to take the P1, but it's going to immediately go to Plum. Oxen in second and Kamarov in third. Hilly taking P4, Striker 5th, Robbo in 6th, Jesus 7th, Shrek was 8th I believe. Well, like I say, it could have been anyone's game. Jesus is the game's driver of the day. My driver of the day goes to Hilly for a rather good strategy. It's just unfortunate he picked up the pen, but he still gets my driver of the day. Great race from Hilly there. Plum with the win and the fastest slot. That's a good haulage of points. Healy again with a good haulage of points, only finishing 2 positions ahead of Robbo, so we'll see in the end if that changes. We'll see next week if that changes the position. I think it might just, but only just, I think, or maybe it'll be very close. I can't remember exactly how many points you get for those positions, but anyway, we've got some drivers to invite to a podium party, and I can do it from here, which is so easy for me. I love it, absolutely love it. Right, let's get these in. If the menus would go quick enough for me. Come on. Come on. Get back now, come on. There we go. Oh, it's not typing Y. Oh, there he is. And let's find Kamarov here. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Oh, for some reason I can't find him. Hello there, we've got Silent in. Thank you for joining. Let's get Kamarov. There he is. So I'll just wait for Kamarov to join and then we'll get on our way with this one. That's if you go. There we go.
Hello.
Rightio. So Plum didn't quite cross the line in first, but without the penalties, you did take first and the fastest lap as well. You've definitely had to work hard for this one, though.
100%. Fucking hell. I didn't think. I thought it was gonna be alright. Like when I pitted again, but I realised that it's gonna be a lot harder than I think, just because the Avatar has just got nothing to it. So I really had to push towards the end. And luckily, I didn't get a penalty. So yeah.
I must say, compared to obviously the time out in FGR on Thursday, it was the Eagle Kart's obviously a lot more easy to control. That AlphaTauri though, bit more of a struggle, did you say?
Yeah. It's just the power is like nothing. Their acceleration is not too bad, but the brakes as well, just nothing happens, and it's got no turning whatsoever. So you really just have to fucking try hard it. to actually get some sort of pace out.
Absolutely did, but
But
there
yeah,
you go. Like I say, still fastest lap in P1, not bad at
yeah,
all.
definitely really happy with that. Yeah.
Silent Oxen. I think it's
Hello.
about me. Is this your first time in this league? I think.
No,
It's
I am
it's
Spriggs.
Spriggs.
Oh, it's Spriggs. Oh my.
You gone
He's an
the whole
imposter.
race thinking it's a new guy.
Yeah, yeah. Not gonna lie, that
Yeah.
technical diff. Oh god. Right. Well,
Yeah,
sorry,
glad
it's
that
gone
was
to shit
amazing.
already. So you know what that means, Sprig? Pay to merchant again. Then.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
you
good though.
just
I'm happy with
missed
that
out.
one. Yeah, that's all right. I to be honest with you, I'm at the I've never actually pushed that hard in Austria before because it was when on the last safety car restart, looked back and I just saw Plum like 2 or 3 places behind, and I thought he's definitely going to be right behind me in about a lap or two or something like that. And then lo and behold, when he was behind me, every time I looked like ahead and then looked back, he was closer and closer after each corner. So I was like, it's only a matter of time. And then I remember at one point, he was behind, and I just started like waving at him because I was like, I know you're about to pass me at this point, so let me just let me just wave at you. And then yeah, it was just after that thinking, all right, maybe he'll like sort of pass, put the pressure on camera off, and then we'll just have a bit more of like, I'll see if I can, I don't know, do something. Who knows? But it was yeah, it's all right. It was a really good race. I did get wing damage from I think it was an Alfa Romeo at one point, which caused the first safety car. Actually, I was just thinking, just don't overtake me to turn one, please. And then he did, and then went into hilly, and then I was like, oh, here we go. It's kind of you could see it coming from a mile away, and then yeah, change wing, carry on, and it was right.
Yeah, I think that's the one that first fifth guys. Yeah, where I think hit the Williams behind as well, which sent him into the wall.
Yeah,
But obviously safety car helping you out as well there, quite a lot.
yeah, yeah.
And
It did a good job.
yeah,
Is
absolutely.
that from... Oh yeah.
There you go. Continue. Sorry.
No, that's all right. I wasn't sure if it was for me. That question or thing was for me or for someone else. But basically, yeah, it was. It did help safety cars, to be honest. But I don't think the soft was a. It didn't feel like a good tire to race on. To be honest, I feel like the mediums and the hards felt way better, to be honest. But I also didn't make the mistake of having too high tire pressures as well. So my tires were kind of cold during the race, which was kind of nice for once, rather than them being overheating on that track. So that was also made things more like sort of comfortable during the race. So
absolutely.
yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, it's nice to have another person who likes cold tyres. I thought I was the only one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
moving on, finally, Karov. Unfortunate
Oh.
penalty. I didn't quite know how and when you got that penalty because I think at that point I was confused as to if I was in the right lobby or not.
Yes.
But
Um.
without that, you could have got pay one.
I saw that actually. I thought, were you? Did you had to go off track at some one point, didn't you?
Yeah, I
Was
broke too late into turn 3, and
oh
apparently that's deemed worth a penalty. But I mean, I got 2 of the warnings anyway, so it didn't matter. Maybe I wouldn't have got them without the penalty, but yeah, doesn't matter. I'm pretty happy with P3. It's just a bit of fun to have some racing. It was good to push with the ends again.
That was good,
in
cheers,
the
mate.
same cars, and yeah, race.
I would say good overall pace there, and well, yeah, you've been in the wars, but hanging back.
Yeah, I was just happy to sit behind a little bit. I sit behind with Hilly at the end as well, but I thought the AlphaTauri was going to be a little bit too shit to do the DRS checking with, but just about managed to get through into turn 4, even though I wanted to get through into turn 3. Hey, it works.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I think at that point I thought, ooh, how's he copped it here?
And
But
so was I.
AlphaTauri rocket ship in the end.
Yeah, not really. More like AlphaTauri lawnmower.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Moving on though, the next week, I don't know if you lot are going to be there, but just in case you are, we'll start with Plum next week. Singapore, are you going to be there? Are you going to be doing it?
Maybe I'll see. I'll see how I feel. It is my day off of work that day, so
Oh,
I
well,
might do.
come on. Who doesn't
Yeah.
want to do 100% the race around Singapore?
Yeah, no, yeah. I might be. Might be.
Someone to look out for. Spriggs, Singapore.
Uh, I think I should be there. Yeah, I don't think I've got anything coming out. So
Your
it
thoughts
should be
on the
right.
chat, especially doing 100%
Oh,
round it?
yeah. You know what? I like Singapore actually. So we'll see how it go. Obviously, I could still just spin into the wall anyway. But yeah, I don't think it's too bad. But I've never done a 50%, 100% race there, so yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see.
And Kamarov,
yeah, I like
100% round there
Singapore.
even
So
AlphaTauri.
yeah, it'll be interesting. But yeah, I like Singapore. I did like the old Sector 3 a little bit more, but I don't particularly mind. It gives an extra overtaking opportunity, the new one. But yeah, it'll be a bit of a long slog, but well,
Prefer the old version of Set 3.
yeah, I was better at it. That was my best
Yeah,
sector,
I
so
agree.
they've taken that away. I'm not quite as quick down there anymore as I used to, but
Well, there you go. We might be
um,
able to beat him then. Well, that has been a rather conundrumic 2 hours there. I'm falling
pretty much.
asleep here and I don't know what I'm saying now. That is the end of the stream, and join us next week where we'll be taking on the streets of Singapore, where that is definitely going to be a very long one. Goodbye.